bonds for communication. For general behavior, Moses gave 10 commandments which were not only made public, but incumbent on the communion forefathers to teach orally to their respective families. The following of the commandments thus taught, that is to say, I am Ea Eshchaia, that brought you out of Egypt. You shall have no gods or lords, but the I am, Yah. You shall not make any image of the I am out of anything that is in heaven above, or the earth beneath, or in the waters. You shall not bow down before idols, images, or anything having the form of anything in heaven, or on earth, or in waters. See that? See, in the Oahspe, it was clear that the I am, the Creator, wasn't in the image of man. They understood this at first. Israel had this understanding of the Creator before they started worshiping deities. You shall not speak in my name in public, for I will not hold him guiltless who gives it to the adulterers and lovers of evil. Remember the sacred days and keep them holy. 6 days you shall labor, but the seventh day is the Shabbat. Honor your mother and father. You shall not kill anything living. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal, nor bear false witness, nor covet anything that is another's. Now keep in mind, he's telling this is before they run up in the land of Canaan. So these are the laws given to Israel. You shall not steal, but then they go steal the land of Canaan. So the God speaking to Israel right here is not the God telling the Israelites to go up in the land of Canaan to slaughter men, women, and children. You got to understand the shift of the gods, or the shift from creator to the gods. In those days, it so happened that one, Koita, an Egyptian woman, a Sua is a person who can heresy angels, went into the lodge at noon, no person being within the lodge except herself. And while she was examining the remnant of Shua's bread and the basin of candlestick, a voice spoke to her, saying, do not touch these things, they are sacred. But the woman, knowing it was a spirit, said, if I tell what I have heard, I will be accused. Or was it not the multitude of seers that brought plagues on Egypt? Again, the voice spoke, saying, I will give you the signs and passwords of the high fathers, so that they can also know that you know. Now, with that, the Spirit told her the secrets. And he likewise said, say to Moses, the I am said, Moses will wonder at your speech. Behold, these implements are sacred. Hide them by day. For those who have spirit perception, perceiving them, will obtain the signs and passwords. See that? They on some next level shit here. He said, behold, these implements are sacred. Hide them by day, for those who have spirit perception, perceiving them, will obtain the signs and passwords. You see how deep? That's like some Matrix shit. That's like the agent, you know what I mean? Tracking down Morpheus and Neo type shit. The woman Koita did as commanded, and Moses commanded workmen to make a tabernacle, a model or image of a place of worship, a portable temple. The sacred implements were kept within this tabernacle. And this was the integral base of the Ark Bond, the locality in the Etherian heavens, by which the light of the sacred heaven, of the second heaven, reached the earth to Moses and by his people. And a pillar of cloud by day and a light by night. And that the Ark of Bond is the Ark site, that's the name of the 24th Ark site. This is when that took place, when the earth was traveling past that etheric light. You know what I mean? All these things going on in the heavens, yo. Interestingly, the sacred ceremonies commanded vegetable diet for fathers, prophets, seers, and runners, trench subjects. And many of Koita's people followed their example. After some years of experience, those who fasted from flesh murmured, saying, what have we gained for our sacrifice? Now, keep in mind, in mind, they had a vegetable diet. It wasn't slaughtering goat heads. It wasn't chopping off bullocks. It wasn't offering um, inward parts and legs as a sweet savor to the god. The prophets were vegetables. They were vegetarian. So who was this God in Leviticus that got you niggas cutting off goat heads so he could smell it as a sweet savor? The Oahspe say here, the tabernacle that they got, that they following, they eating vegetables. But look, let's come back up a verse. The woman Kohita did as commanded, and Moses worked to make a tabernacle. This is the real tabernacle. The tabernacle that you got in Leviticus, I don't know who that is. Portable tabernacle, a model or image of a place of worship, a portable temple. The sacred implements were kept within this tabernacle. This was the corporeal base of the Ark of God, a locality in the ethereal heavens on which the light of the second heaven reached the earth to Moses and his people in a pillar of cloud by day and by cloud by day and of the light by night. So it was a line of communication. It's like a sun ray. When you see the sun rays, just imagine one big sun ray just going from the earth going through the cloud going up. You see this light following his people. But nonetheless, this is a tabernacle, a portable tabernacle. But look at the ceremonies of the tabernacle. Look at those. If you want the secret ceremonies, you were commanded to eat vegetable diet. For the fathers, the prophets, seers, trans subjects. See that? How you going to be a priest, a holy priest, and y'all niggas is playing with blood? Here, the Oahspe saying that, shoot, if you wanted to join the secret ceremonies, you was commanded to eat a vegetable diet. So if you're dealing with the tabernacle and you're eating a vegetable diet, there is no reason to offer up meat to a god. Offering up meat to idols. See that? We ain't offering no meat to idols, but look what it said. After some years of experience, those who fasted from flesh murmured, saying, what have we gained for our sacrifice? So those were the meat eaters who had to stop eating meat. They started complaining because what we benefiting from is they don't even know that they're purifying their body. They don't know it's a spiritual ascension that comes with this. But they're thinking carnal. They're thinking in their flesh. They're thinking in their lower self. So they broke their fast by hundreds and thousands. And countless birds came by their camps. And they caught, killed, and ate them freely. But being unaccustomed to such diet, they became fevered and died. See that? More than 60,000 of them. Look at that number. Men, women, and children. And children. Ain't no mercy. When you Creator say, don't eat the flesh and blood. Y'all want to be this, but 60,000? That's a great number. That ain't no small number. Men, women, and children. So just imagine being in this multitude of people. And now there's a decision where people start complaining of the vegetable diet, and now you want to eat meat, and there's 60,000 that is in agreement to that. Who's to say you would have been part of that 60,000? You're looking at your kid getting thin from the vegetables. Oh, he ain't getting enough meat. He ain't getting enough sustenance. Look, he getting thin. I need to feed him some meat so we can gain some muscle mass. You start thinking like that. The next thing you know, you start eating the meat and end up dead. That's crazy. In the year 3269 BK meaning before Cosmos. Cosmos began in 1848. The Israelites began to marry with the Canaanites, who were under the control of who? Baal. This is the God that got you niggas worshiping or offering goat heads to the Lord. That Lord is Baal. By the time you was in the Leviticus Lord is Baal. That ain't creator. Sad to say, that's creator. The Leviticus laws is not from a creator. As to Oahspe, whose dominion extended jointly with Baal over western and southern Arabia, sent spirit emissaries to the handsome of the women of Canaan, and by impression led them into the camps of the Israelites to tempt the young men. For the heathen gods decided to use these means to destroy the worship of the Great Spirit. Look at that. They're using the Canaanite women to destroy the worship of the Great Spirit. That's your Kim Kardashians. Ain't they Armenians? See that? They're using them, the beauty of the beautiful trash. They're using beautiful trash to get rid of the chosen God, the Israelites. Here comes beautiful trash coming in the land of Canaan. You know what I mean? A war for the Israelites. And it worked. It worked. They got body on them. You know niggas. Breast and ass, and nice hips and butt. Yeah, niggas. Oh yeah, come on. Niggas gonna fall quick for that. Now, led them into the camps of the Israelites to tempt the young men for the heathen god. For the heathen gods decided to use this means to destroy the worship of the Great Spirit. And many of the Israelitish young men were tempted by the beauty of the heathen woman, beautiful trash, and thus took them for wives. And these wives brought with them their own familiar spirits. See that? Who were slaves to Baal and Ashtaroth. So that's how they slid in. That's how Baal and Ashtaroth slid in the house of Israel, by the heathen woman, by the beautiful trash. They was able to overthrow the children or the men of Israel. And look, the ark of bond immediately sent Jerub, and he carried an angel into the Israelite camp, giving him 2,000 inspiring spirits to counteract the labor of Baal and Ashtaroth. Look at that. Jerub like, yo, I gotta go down there immediately. We gotta do something with this beautiful trash. They over there throwing the niggas off. Let me get 2,000 inspiring spirits to counter-react. All right, I'm gonna need these niggas to be inspired over the sexual desire and lust. But these niggas are falling for beautiful trash right now. The Kim Kardashians. Nevertheless, it so happened that when the half-breed children were grown up, the mixed, the Caucasoks, the mixed breed, having Canaanite mothers, they began to murmur against the peace policy. And work. Now the offspring is nestled in the house. Now it's the offspring that's complaining about the peace policy of Moshe. See how they did it? See how these folks God's work? They got many strategic ways that they use. In this instance, they use women to overthrow Israelites. Saying, as other people have kings and emperors, why not here? As other people raise up soldiers, declare war, and go forth possessing lands and cattle, why do we not do so? See that? These are the mixed multitude, the Canaanite mothers, Israelite fathers. See that? These are the mixed breed. Now there.
All right, I'm here, and I thank you, Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother, for this opportunity that you've given me to be a light while I'm in this reality. My name is Jaquab Ben Yisrael. Welcome to my channel. Before I begin, I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the angels of the daytime and the angels of the evening written of in this book right here, the Essene Gospel of Peace. So today, being Thursday rising, that would be the angel of the sun, or the angel of water, actually. The angel of water. So let's find out what we can say to acknowledge the angels of the water. Angels of the water, or the angel of water. Angel of water. It says on the sixth rising after Sabbath, say these words. So we're going to say these words 3 times together on 3. 3 times together on 3, okay? Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3. Angel of water, enter my blood and give the water of life to my body. Again, 1, 2, 3, angel of water, enter my blood and give the water of life to my body. One more time, 1, 2, 3, angel of water, enter my blood and give the water of life to my body. And we read, and you will feel like the rushing current of the river. The power of the angel of water enter your blood, and like the rivulets of a stream, send the power of the earthly mother through your blood to all parts of your body, and it shall be for healing, for the power of the angel of water is very great. And when you speak to her, she will send her power wherever you command. For when the angels of God dwell within the Son of Man, are all things possible. And then this evening is going to be angel of wisdom. Angel of wisdom. And on the 6th evening after Sabbath, say these words. We're going to say these words 3 times together on 3. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Angel of wisdom, descend on me and fill with wisdom all my thoughts. Again. Angel of wisdom, descend on me and fill with wisdom all my thoughts. Again, 1, 2, 3. Angel of wisdom, descend on me and fill with wisdom all my thoughts. And we read, know, sons of light, that your thoughts are as powerful as the bolt of lightning that stabs through the storm and splits asunder the mighty tree. It was for this that you have waited 7 years to learn how to speak with the angels, for you know not the power of your thoughts. Use then wisdom in all you think and say and do, for I tell you truly that which is done without wisdom is as a riderless horse, mouth foaming, and eyes wild, running crazed into a yawning chasm. But when the angel of wisdom governs your deeds, then is the path to the unknown realms established in order and harmony govern your lives. All right. So again, brethren, I want to thank you for joining me in my channel where I try to share about things that I am learning in my journey, in my walk of faith, and what I am learning in my life and my studies, and share with you. I believe my life is meant to be shared with those who are like-minded, who are spiritual, you realize that we are here, we're in this reality for a reason, for a purpose. And if you're anything like me, you want to find out as soon as possible what that reason is. And then when you find out, you want to get busy. And that describes me perfectly. That's my testimony and my living. I've always even from my youngest age, can only remember always wanting to know what it was all about. I think that for me, when I was a young man, when I was very, very young, I thought of things I had no business thinking about. I just really thought of some heavy, heavy things when I was young. Talking about like maybe 8, 9, 10, trying to figure out what life was all about. And I concluded that I knew I was alive. I knew I was on the earth at that time. And I automatically questioned what it was all about. And I felt like I'm going to devote myself to finding out what it's all about. And when I find out what it's all about, then I'm going to make all my decisions about how, what way to go in. And it just so turns out that I was spiritual in that way. And I was going to try to find the Heavenly Father. And that was it, even when I was young age. Now, on the way, I really took a hit. I really took a blow. I'm realizing more and more that I'm older, the blow that I had to take, and a lot of it had to do with the taking away of your own mind. Because as you come into learning and you listening to different people and they saying all these things and these churches and these Bibles, lessons, and you start to, your mind start, well, I can't say for other people, but I'm, I realize now that it took away a lot of what you would call your common sense. Because being that young, you tend to defer your overstanding, your legitimate observations in favor of somebody else. And you keep that up, then you're going to tend to trust what other people have to say instead of what you feel inside. That was one of the devastating things I've learned. I'm only just now beginning to get it back, and it was the Oahspe Bible that basically told, it tells really anybody, but I'm saying it told me to start thinking for yourself and start making your own conclusions. And so now I'm sitting here in my 60s having to learn from brother half my age, and I don't mind at all. Like I was telling one brother, hey man, listen, if I'm drowning, I don't care what color of, I don't care who throws me a life raft, just so long as somebody, just please, anybody, somebody, throw me a life raft, man. You know, I don't care what color, I don't care what race, I don't care if it was a KKK who throw me a life raft. You think that just because it's a KKK, I'm not going to grab that life raft? See, that was my mind. Eventually, I got to that point. Although I was a racist when I first came into the Israelite, overstanding. You gotta love that green tea. I was a racist. I was taught to be one by the Israelites, and I was a good one too. I used to love to go to camp and destroy the oppressor. Of course, coming into well, actually, even before that, I ran into the Third Testament, and I changed my tune. Anyway, make a long story short, I ended up uh, uh, enduring. I just endured. I endured all that, believing that if I was sincere, I knew that if I was sincere, I knew that if I was sincere, that the Creator, He wouldn't let me down. That's all I knew. That's all I knew. If I was sincere and I could endure, then I knew I was going to find what I was looking for, and it happened. It happened to me. I endured the deception. I endured the ups and downs of my life, the blows that life threw at me to get me to put my light out. I endured the homelessness. I endured my own mind fighting against me day and night. I endured the beast kingdom of men and world of men and people who only desire their own welfare, and they're gifted to be able to deceive you. I survived all that. And I was trying to do the will of my Father who art in heaven. Now, actually, I say the Creator God who is in the. I struggle to describe the Creator God and the realm in which the Creator God lives, the celestial realm. I've read, I've been under the Bible for all these years, only to find out that the influence behind the scriptures came from fallen gods who we were taught to worship. I'm only just now coming out of all that. And I'm a babe in the things that I'm trying to share from the Oahspe Bible, which has been, to me, it was like dessert. It's easy for me to see how the Heavenly Father has you know, really blessed my journey. Really, really blessed my journey. Even helping me biologically, so far as the dangers of eating meat and how it will stunt your spiritual growth. I'm taking on the knowledge of herbs as a diet, and I expect to testify. See, you brother, right now, I'm in the power chair right now. I want you to take note of that because I expect to be completely healed. I'm taking on a diet of herbs, listening to brethren who have that understanding. And I believe that I'm rebounding. I'm on the rebound as long as I'm in this reality. I think that I won't be long in this reality. In my mind, I hope not, although there's a great work to be done and a great blessing to store up treasure and redeem the time. I know that it's a great blessing, man, if you can store up treasure and redeem time. Now, I want to talk about something else real quick. I'm going to go to my room and scroll. And if anybody who believes in the Oahspe Bible and you want to come to a place and I have a room where I'm just trying to share the things that I read, study, and I try to post things to bless your soul with. Any brother or sister who can believe, who has the talent, who has the ability to believe, to have faith. Now, I say it that way because, today I was looking at a video and I learned a lesson. I was watching a video. There was a brother and a sister, and they were debating the Oahspe. And I learned something hit me. When the sister's turn came, she was under a spirit of unbelief. What I see brethren doing is Hebrew Israelites mainly. They attacking the source of the Oahspe. It's a white man. He's a Mason. He was a dentist. He was part of a cult, and children died in the cult. And the people, brethren, who are attacking the Oahspe Bible, and they don't even really have they have like a fraction of a knowledge of what's written within it. It don't make no difference. All they know is it's something new, and this Bible brethren are unable to stand up against Oahspe brethren. And so they just going to attack the easiest low-hanging fruit, which is the author. And that sister was talking, and she taught me a lesson. I'm indebted to her in that sense. She reminded me that not everybody have faith. Not all men have not faith. And that's required. For all men have not faith. 2 Thessalonians. For all men have not faith. And it hit me like, I forgot all about that. The things that you're saying, nobody got to believe that. They might not have enough evidence for them to believe. There's a lot of people it's a lot of spirits in this world. They don't believe. I was assuming, that by reading this word and showing the conclusiveness of the arguments, the logic of the arguments, and I found out, man, you're doing a lot of assuming. People need powerful proof, often beyond the means of the person trying to share with you to deliver it. We're really just using words, really. And that sister, that's what she attacked. The brother, he gave a presentation, and the brother just mainly gave her sources, which was good enough for me. He did an excellent job, man. He was giving her sources. He was putting his arguments together, and it was more than enough for me. And That's why you sons and daughters, you're also like that. You may not know it, but you got faith. You have what's called faith, and it is a mystery. And we live in a reality where, and we're surrounded by people who have no faith. They got no faith. I forgot all about that, man. It's amazing, man. I forgot all about that. I'm surrounded by people who have no faith. And even still, it's all good because they gonna have it. The creator, he got a plan for people who don't have faith either. He got a plan for them. Now, back to that sister, she basically cut the knees out from that brother trying to bring her some light. And she just attacked it like, it's a white man's book. They did the same thing with the Bible and telling us that this is what we're supposed to worship and learn in order to go to heaven. And, the Puritans, and they came over, and that's the first thing they told the Indians to subdue them. And then the slaves, and telling them that God is white. And this book, the Oahspe, is doing the same thing. And I thought to myself, I said, oh, I forgot all about that group of people. I forgot all about those spirits in the world, man, that don't have faith. And the Oahspe, it calls them spiritual drugs. Druks. Actually, that's what they were arguing about. She was arguing about the identity of who the Oahspe Bible calls the drugs. It's the people who they were described as being copper or black and brown. In other words, talking about Negroes. And it was too much on her, so that it shut her down. Now, I don't know if it was, just going by color is what the sister went off of. Just going off of color, she concluded that it was talking about Negroes, and she didn't like the way it put them in that type of light, and it put white and yellow people in a better light than us at the beginning, talking about pre-Neanderthal man. And so she couldn't handle it, so she came against it, and she said it was basically white man's fairy tale to subjugate the Negro. She didn't really know the Oahspe all that well. I came into it only just last month, and already I could tell that she was ignorant so far as the Oahspe is concerned. And it just made me think, even no matter, I perceive that she was the type of sister that no matter how much information you give her, she ain't going to receive it. And there's people like that in the world. It don't matter how much information you give them, they ain't going to receive it. They need to see, they need to walk by sight. They don't have no faith. They can't have faith. And the Oahspe, it even talks about those type of people. Spirits who talk of their own earthly lives and of earthly things are familiar spirits who abide with, and they live with us. They're around, they surround us. These are spirits above, there are spirits above them who can come and teach us some things in heaven by serving Jehovah. We hope to adapt ourselves to their presence. Talking about we get our understanding from angels. We basically get are you faithless, you sons and daughters? That explains why we are who we are. We get our understanding from angels. They minister to us, and you can't explain that to the world. It's a mystery. Jehovah moved upon Ahura and induced him to send numerators and graders throughout his kingdom to take the measure of those who had faith and of those who had no faith, and of those who had neither faith nor non-faith. And these are who are graded, numbered, so when the time came, we would know where to place them. Then he numbered the unlearned and dumb, and then the enthusiastic, and he graded them and arranged them also. Telling you about the eternal plan. You know, you're being here in this reality right now so that you can be graded, so that you can know, the angels can know how to place you when you leave, when you cross over, you leave this mortality. That sister, she has no faith. And she's being used mightily to try to put the light out of brethren who do have faith. Because you know, a woman, she can form an argument. They have a certain way of thinking, pattern of thinking, that it can really set you, it can really catch you off guard. They're good at cutting you off at the knees with their arguments. But it boiled down to that sister, she has no faith. She has no faith. She can't answer one of 100 questions if a Oahspe brother put it to her. Just ask her to explain this, explain that, explain the creation, explain the atoms and formating, the creating of the earthly that we have right now. What are the cycles of the earth? Things that the Bible, it cannot tell you. But I don't think she subscribed to the Bible anyway. I don't know. But she would not, she cut herself off. She had no ability to believe. But this world, having no faith in the Father, we're surrounded, man, by people who have no faith. It's amazing to me that I'm just now thinking that way. I mean, I just automatically assume that that's what really made me stumble when it comes to spiritual things. I always believed that people would always have their best interests in heart when it came to the spirit. And I'm talking about people who would share things or do work that would affect our life, like give us the Bible, and, you know, people would read it. And I always thought, man, they would never do anything. They would have to be sincere because it affect them too. And I come to find out that there are brethren who were sincere, but they were deceived. And there were those spirits that were working to deceive brethren who really do believe, the chosen, elected brethren who would have the ability to see and believe the word of the Creator. No matter what you throw at them, you might get them for a minute, but they're going to come up out of it. See, it's called faith. It said, but this world's people, having no faith in the Father, shall have faith in stone walls, the church, whereby ye may know which are righteous in my sight. And that's the way it is today. People, if the church is elaborate and the pastor is shoe shiny and sharp creases in his suits, he's home free, man. He's home free. No faith. No faith, man. You got to see to believe. And the spirits that be, the fallen gods with their lords and angels, they're going to take full advantage of that. That sister wouldn't get off the color of the drucks and the eye hens, what the Oahspe calls the eye hens, those in the favorite light, those are the believers. She could not get off of it. And she used that to disparage the whole rest of the Oahspe. She just used that one premise. She just used that one premise. Oh, that I had faith like unto thee. But for long years I taught myself that prayer to Jehovah was not required of one so great and strong as I. Alas, I smothered out the fire, and amidst his sobs, and Taya fell prostrate at Yes's feet. Now, I don't know what the account is. I'm just doing a word study on no faith, seeing what the Oahspe has to say about it. But I have no faith. So who's saying this? Thou shalt undo thy selfish deeds which thou hast practiced so long. So turn thou at once and make an oath to him who made thee, that this time forth thou wilt do good unto others with all thy wisdom and strength. Utea said, Alas, thy words are wise and holy, but I have no faith. I have not faith. Yesta said, Say not this. Thy words are another bondage on thy soul. To say I have no faith is to imprison thyself away from all light. And that reminds me of that sister. She had a great argument for imprisoning herself. And it was a blessing that that brother, he was doing his level best to get her to see, to come out of that, but she wouldn't have none of it. She had imprisoned herself with her intellectual, she had convinced herself to have no faith. Her opposition was such that, and it was very effective, her opposition was such that she was going to bind herself to her flesh, to her familiar spirit. She had a familiar spirit. She was tied to the things of the earth. She was tied to, unless you prove it to me, unless I see it. She was tied to the five senses, her carnal senses. And we live in a world of people like that. And I forgot about that. I really forgot about that. She ain't gonna buy no argument about angel visitation and how the angels are able to give a spirit, a overstanding, and anointing, either for righteousness or for unrighteousness. Spirits do that. Can't none of us explain how a spirit operates, but we can see how they do in people. That's all you got. A spirit can turn the heart of a king or a president. A spirit can affect a leader for the better or for the worse. That's the story of Christianity. When you read about Constantine, I mean, if you have faith, can't nobody give it to you. We can't give it, we can't. That man, I'm telling you, that realization hit me good, man. I forgot. I assumed that a right sounding word would appeal to whoever heard it. That's not true. That is not true, man. All you got to use are words until we get restored in power. And even then, that might not be good enough because people would attribute that to Satan. Even if we cast out Satan, people would still call us Satan. That's the way, you know what? You just have to let the Creator deal with spirits like that. And you know what the Creator's plan is to win a person when they cross over, when they leave this mortality, to put them in a situation that's going to break them. No matter how long, it may be 100 years, it may be 200 or 300 or 400. He's going to make you break yourself. He's going to make you break yourself. It's like, okay, if you want to be ignorant, go ahead, be ignorant still. See, we ain't got no choice. We ain't got no choice in this situation that we're in right now. I hate to sound harsh. We ain't got no choice. One way or another, everyone, you know what? I look at the Creator as and the Creator actually is male-female energy. I don't say that enough. The Creator is male-female energy. And I look at them like parents. For a while, they take care of you, they teach you, they endure you, they suffer you as you're growing and you're being rebellious ages and being difficult ages. They stay with you, they provide for you, they try to love you, they try to do what is best by you. But there is a time where they're going to, like the bird that get kicked out of the nest, and you're going to have to start flying. You're going to become responsible for yourself. you're going to suffer the consequences of your decision. You're going to quit being able to blame the Father for your actions. That's the point in life that all of us got to come to. Now, you got this word is full of information that should be able to make you should be able to make an easy decision. An easy decision to turn away from that which is not good to that which is good. I mean, but you stumble on because somebody was built this way and they were under this color and you weren't in that favorable light at that time, you're going to just throw away any opportunity to elevate and evolve. What else have you got, man? Who's your God? What happens at, what is this all about? Do you have any answers? You got no answers. All you got is criticisms. There comes a time when the Heavenly Father say, hey, man, this is a time where you ought to know what's good. You ought to have had faith by now. You see the world. You see all the creation, and it testifies of the Creator that we can't see, but you see Him through His creation. No, man. Don't try that. Don't try that unbelief with me. You can't even explain how a blade of grass was created. You sitting up there questioning the source that created it. Okay, you just keep going on, it's amazing, you'll run, you'll go ahead and you're willing to find out when it's too late what it's all about. That's the world we live in. But some of you brethren, you got faith. You got it. I got it. Faithists, they got it. And we sitting up here trying to explain it to spirits who really, you just have to be, you're going to be graded. You're going to be, whether you like it or not, you're going to receive a grade. And that grade determines, the lower you grade, the more closer you stay to the earth atmosphere, even when you leave this mortality. The higher you grade, the further away you get away from earthly influences in our immortality. I can't explain it any better than that. But that sister, to listen to her talk, man, it just blew my mind. I mean, it's like I woke up. It's like I woke up. I woke up, man. And I said to myself, all men have not faith, Yaikwab. All men have not faith. That's what you're dealing with. The earth, it does have the ability to put the light out of a brother or sister. The fact that we've been given the Oahspe at this date and time, it's a miracle. See, even if, you know what, the seriousness of it, if we hadn't gotten this word, even faithists, who the Oahspe calls faithists, the sons and daughters, people who believe and they can perceive the Creator, they believe in the Creator, they know the difference between a God, a king, a Lord, and an angel. They are able to read the Bible and accurately, they can accurately, rightly divide the word so far as the influences that are speaking. They simply look at the works. They look at their fruits. That's what faithists do. That's the secret to our being able to know the Bible, to know the influence behind it, and to make a decision to whether the Oahspe is faithful or the Bible is faithful. Because the Bible is all we had for a long time. It was used so that it would ultimately separate. It would separate wheat from tares. And that sister, man, all she could do was criticize. She was one of them type of spirits. She can't tell you what happens when we leave this mortality. She got no words of encouragement to bless you with, all she can do is criticize. And it's a lot of people like that. It's a lot of people like that. Just, have been living under fear and bondage under Bible for so long, don't know anything else, can't bless you, can't give you a cup of cold water. All they can do is give you their fears and anxieties, pass it on to you. That's all. You faith this. That's where we live. We live here, man. Got no faith. You got no faith. And no matter what we do, we can't give it to you. So here's my room, if somebody can hear me, I hopefully, and I'm really looking for you faithers, you brethren who can receive the Oahspe, just so that we can get together and bless ourselves with our understanding. An opportunity to redeem the time, to store up. I, was thinking about April. April's is just before we know it, it's going to be here, and we're going to find out what that eclipse means. Everybody knows about that eclipse. April 3rd, that eclipse, that 2017-2024 eclipse. And we're going to find out. 2017-2024 eclipse. We're going to find out what this means, man. It don't look good, I'm telling you right now. And then you look at the confluence of events in the world today. That means something right there. That's the picture of the 2017-2024 eclipse that happened in August of 2017. It went one way. And now in 2024, it's going to go another way. It's going to form an X across America. Now, I don't know. It may not mean nothing at all. It could be just coincidence. It might not mean nothing at all. But see, I don't despise prophecy. I don't take chances. I don't play with spirituality. That's one thing I don't play with. I believe that this is not all there is, this reality. I believe that the Creator, He able to use words and it resonate with your spirit in a way that is supernatural. That's all I'm saying right there. I mean, to me, the Heavenly Father, looking at how he allow you to be deceived. He let even the sons and daughters be deceived all the way up to this point. Meaning worshiping a deity. And then you looking at the whole world, and the whole world lies in darkness. The whole world. Now that brethren understand the spirits behind Islam, Muslim, Buddha, Christianity, the major religions of the world, Catholicism, faithists, they understand the spirits behind these things and the deception. These religions, they're there to harvest spirits. They're there to harvest spirits. That's the big picture right there. That's why on my channel, I'm just learning, but I'm trying to run and share so that, because I know the power of deception. I've had to live through it, what it means to worship a deity and to not even know it, and then to realize if you end up in that condition, you'll go to your deity. which means you'll go into slavery. You'll be a dupe, a D-U-P-E. The Oahspe calls you a dupe. Matter of fact, that'd be a good one to look up. A dupe. That means you'll be a sucker. The Oahspe, it says that when you cross over, it'll be easy for you to be deceived. It'll be easy for you to be deceived. Let's see. Won't let me bring up the screen. A dupe, a dupe, a dupe. The Oahspe says that you know what's amazing, man, is that we value the earthly over the spiritual, and we're taught to believe that way. We're taught to believe that way. It's such a shame. I pray that you Oahspe brethren, man, I pray your faith hold up, you know. I pray you don't fall down in your faith. There ain't really nowhere else to go. There ain't nowhere else to go but to sow to the Spirit, a dupe. Here it is. Here it is, a dupe. Check this out, verse 15. Now, again, it's the middle of a thought, a middle of a story. Verse 15, yet also shalt thou prove that whatsoever of the ancients was great, or whatever. I posted this in my room. It says, yet this also shalt thou prove that whatsoever of the ancients was great, or whatever gods was well known, that thou settest thy soul on to love. Increase the words. Make the words bigger. Okay, so hope you can see that. See if I can do it one more time. All right, let's read it together. Check it out. A dupe, a dupe. I'm trying to show how the whole world is being duped. And what the Oahspe has to say about it. It says, yet this also shalt thou prove, that whatsoever of the ancients was great, or whatever gods was well known, that thou settest thy soul on to love. Behold, familiar spirits will come to thee to deceive thee, professing to be that ancient or that God. Verse 16, and when thou art dead, and thy soul risen from the dead, behold, some deceiving spirit will come to thee to use thee. Will come to thee to use thee. Neither shalt thou discover for a long season that thou hast been the dupe. What is a dupe? A dupe is a sucker. Dupe means a sucker. Let's look at the definition of it. But see, that sister, she don't believe it. It's all a fairy tale to her. You've been deceived. You've been tricked. You've been hoodwinked. You hoax. You fell to a hoax. You were swindled. You were defrauded. You were cheated. Double-crossed. Gullible. Misled. You got took in. Fooled. Deluded. Misguided. Led on. Inveigled. Seduced. Ensnared and trapped. And beguiled. Conned. Sting. Rip-off. You got bilked. You got rooked. You got taken to the cleaners. Finagled. Someone pulled your leg. They pulled a fast one. They snookered you. You got hornswoggled. See, the Oahspe is telling you, you got duped, man. Look at that. For a long season, it says, when you read it again, verse 16, and when thou art dead and thy soul risen from the dead, behold, some deceiving spirit will come to thee to use you. You're going to get used, man. Neither shalt thou discover for a long season that thou hast been the dupe and slave of an unscrupulous master. He said, this day in the lower heavens, there are millions of false Brahmins, millions of false Buddhists, millions of false Christ, and millions of false Gabriel gods. Those are Islam, Muslim. Those are the four major heads of the beast, and their job is to rise and devour much flesh. And that's what they do, all the way to the end of your life. And they use fear of death, basically, as their power to harvest spirits. They going to go into a judgment, and they want to take along as many as they can with them. That's the bottom line right there. You're going to be duped. You'll be easily duped. So that's the reason of this channel. Deity worship, idolatry. You know, I want to give a little example of how you can, about the deception. Now, I like to be brutally honest, you know. I like to be brutally honest. Now, I met a woman, right? And I'm trying to increase my circle of friends. I want to have the company of a woman, you know, her point of view. I'd like to be able to converse with a woman and to be able to converse with her about spiritual things, enjoy her company, socially, you know, be able to take in like the things of the earth, like things that bless your soul from time to time, in addition to being able to have the friendship and the company of a woman, right? So somebody contacted me, wanted to meet me, okay? So we got to talking, and I said, well, let's have dinner, you know? Why don't we go out and live a little? Want to live a little? Let's go out and have dinner. We can meet each other and talk and try to build. So she said, okay. And so a couple of days before a couple of days before we were supposed to get together, she called me and says, I got to tell you something. I haven't, you know, I got to share something with you. I said, what is it? She said, I'm married. I said, I would never get involved with a sister that's in the process of getting divorced. See, she tried to dupe me. And then she tried to tell me my mind, like, I think you're thinking more of him than me. And at the second that she said it, I couldn't think to give the answer that I would have gave her after I had talked to her. You know how you always, later on, hindsight is 2020. I would have told her, you damn straight I'm thinking of me more than, you know, or I would have told her, you damn, you know, I'm thinking of me, not nobody else. And she, you know, but her response almost, it was like, she tried to dupe me into not knowing my own mind. I wasn't quick enough to catch on with my answer. I mean, I told her that, you know, I would never fall for a situation like that, getting involved with somebody going through a divorce, even if he is engaged to be remarried to somebody else. Her agenda came out. Now that she didn't have a man to lean on, she was going to try to dupe another guy. And her words were effective. I mean, to her agenda, I mean, it was like her words, I thought there was like a magic to them to try to tell me my own mind as if that was going to work. It didn't work. It couldn't work. But I thought, you know what? If I were younger, she might have been able to deceive me into getting into my pride, to get me thinking I ain't gonna let no man stop me from getting a woman. That was the agenda. I thought, man, that was pretty slick. There was some psychology to that. And that's the ability of women to be able to do that type of thing, to affect your mind that way, where, you know, I know there's a psychological term for it, but I don't know what it is right now, to get you to have power over the way you think. I mean, I can't describe it, but there was a magic to her response. I think you're thinking more of him than of me. And it, to throw you off of what you are really thinking in your own mind, to make you think their way, to get you to do their will. You know, I'm talking about the power of being able to be duped. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. And on my channel, I tried to, it's like when I first woke up, I mean, last month, I really, really came out of idolatry. Third Testament, it brought me out like a fraction of the way. And then the Oahspe, it finished the job. It finished the job. I mean, really got me all the way out of it. And now my mind is to try to run back and help brethren who are under that spirit. Because if you, again, if we, and an interesting thing, I was talking to that sister, and she said she got a call. Her brother's girlfriend passed away. And that was my door to talk to her about spiritual things. I took that as an open door to talk about spiritual things and what happens when we leave this mortality. But I don't think I could reach her because she was busy trying to lock up a man to help her financially. That was her agenda. And then when she saw that I wasn't going to fall for it, she cut me off. When she said that she was getting divorced when she was still married, and she saw that that wasn't going to work with me, and then she was gone. But at least I got the opportunity to share that little word to get her to try to think about that this isn't all there is. This situation that we come under is going to come and go. It's going to hurt for a while, but you got to keep the focus on the things that are really the most important by far. And that's your spirituality. And most people can't do that. We live in a world where people have no faith. They have no faith, man. Just get used to it. I mean, I'm sure you already know better than I do, but people have no faith. They can't even make a good decision about, hey, man, look, this is the creator that I want to worship. Why would I want to worship a creator telling me that at some point he's going to dash a baby against the ground? How in the hell do you want to be under that type of God? That's what makes me, when I think about it, it makes me scared that I was actually under that spirit. I was duped to think that that was righteousness. So that's what my channel is all about, I mean, the triage is where you treat the most worst wound first, man. You try to deal with the most important thing first, and that is deity. That is idolatry, because you will go into idolatry. You will go, it's telling you right here, you'll go into slavery. It said for a long season, you won't realize that you've been the dupe. Just talking about after you cross over and you go to your faith. You go to your belief system. You go to Christianity, or you'll go to Muslim, or you'll go to Hindu, or you'll go to Catholicism. In other words, you're going to go to the recompense for man-made worship. You see why I'm so redundant talking about these sort of things? And I'm going to be redundant. All knowledge, man, is not, it's better to get out of a situation first. Get out of this first. And then go after all that you want to know and learn and all that, and pull your brethren out, man. That's what's been given to me. That's all that's been given to me. And if I can talk to one person, that's cool with me. That'll be cool. And I'm going to do it with all my heart. That's what's been given to me to do. Praise the Creator that the Oahspe, he finally let me come out of prison. I'm free now. I've been brought home. I've been given the overstanding that has freed my soul. So you can imagine how I feel. Verse 18, whosoever bindeth himself to these names whilst on earth becometh a fit subject for Druhas. The Druhas, these are the unenlightened, the darkened spirits. Whosoever bindeth himself to these names whilst on earth becometh a fit subject for Druhas to fall upon when he entereth heaven. And then verse 19, see, this is what we're taught to think. Think not that great wisdom cometh suddenly by dying. In thy early entrance into the ES world, thou shalt easily be deceived. Easily. And then it's telling you the remedy, for which reason thou shalt school thyself every day of thy life, that thy Creator only is thy God. There it is. That's the remedy right there. Thy Creator only is thy God. That means that if you really believe that in your heart, you're going to gravitate to the Oahspe to get your learning. You're going to see the difference between the Bible and the Oahspe. One thing you're going to notice is the violence of the Bible and the contradictions. It says, and that him thou shalt never see, read it again. For which reason thou shalt school thyself every day of thy life, that thy Creator only is thy God, that him thou shalt never see as thou seest a man or angel, but that him also thou canst see every day. Thou canst see every day in the glory of his work, looking at his creation. And then, with this faith in thy soul, thou shalt die and enter heaven fearlessly. And when a pretended God or Savior cometh to thee asking tribute, thou shalt know of a truth. He is false. There it is right there. That's the protection. That's the remedy. Verse 22, now therefore, when thou judgest thyself to determine the balance of thy good and evil deeds and thy good and evil thoughts, let thy Creator stand as the light of thy soul, and through him judge thou thyself, but not as to thy worship, but as to thy work. So in other words, get busy. Get busy with your reality. You have an opportunity. You want to elevate. You want to gravitate as far away from the earthly reality, earthly realm, earthly heaven, as far as you can. But all men have not faith. Have not faith. We live in a world, people don't have the ability, no matter how convincing your argument is. That's what I picked up when that brother, he was talking to that sister, and her whole agenda, and see, people, when you first frame a discussion as a debate, first of all, that's it. It's all over with right there. That's going to cement one brother on this side and another on that side. They're going to look at it as a fight, and the pride of America is so great, all you know is not to give up or get beat. You'll never see a brother say, oh, hey, man, I never knew that. Hey, man, why don't you talk to me more about that, man? I don't care nothing about no debate and trying to win. And I want to know what's right, man. I want to know what's good. I ain't up here trying to, win some pride, could get, a little feather in my cap saying I was able to, I won an argument. Hey, man, I want to know what's right, okay? Anyway, it's time for the reading of the word. And in the video, what the Oahspe word study on slavery. So I'm going to go into the room to see if anyone's in there. Oh, my goodness. What's going on here? There's a lot of people in here. What the hell? Malachi is in here? I'm going to have a heart attack, man. He can't still be in here. He probably dropped his name in here and got the hell out. And Selah's here? Oh my goodness, I better call the ambulance. I'm gonna have to call the. Oh my goodness, see La. Uh-oh, I ain't gonna make this. Maha's in here? I think I know Maha. Bronze Yogi? What the hell? Star Olivia's here? What the hell is this, man? What the hell is going on here? Where all these brethren come from? Yahweh? What the hell? This is, oh my goodness. They can't, wow. Man, you brethren bless my soul, man. You bless my soul. And I'm pulling for you, Oahspe, brethren. I'm pulling for you, Oahspe, brethren, man. Looking at what y'all up against, mainly the Israelites, trying to get them brethren to come and to, oh my goodness, man. The Creator Mob, is that what, Creator Gang, is that who's in the house? Creator Gang, how can I sign up with them? Obviously, you Oahspe brethren. Somebody send me some information so I can sign up with them. Hey, y'all come into my room, man. Click on the link. Click on the link. Click on the link, man. Come into my room and help me with the share with the brethren. You know, make my room y'all meeting place. Y'all come in and take it over. Let it be y'all meeting place. A place where y'all come in, drop a word, and share with brethren. Click on the link, man. Wow, this is amazing, man. I gotta thank y'all. Every single one of y'all, man. I'm watching y'all too on video. I'm pulling for y'all, man. Wow. This blessed my soul. Starlina, Bolivia, Faithful Olivia. Man, you brethren bless my soul, man. You bless my soul. I know C. Lion in the room. He probably came in, dropped his name, and got out. That really, man, that really blesses my soul. I don't even want to get out of the room. Yeah, Creator Gang. I'm with whoever y'all are, man. All right, let's go into the reading of the word. Let's go into the reading of the word. The name of the video is Oahspe Word Study Slavery. So I'm just going to look at the verses and what the Oahspe has to say about slavery. I think that it's going to turn y'all heads, the information that I'm going to share as I do the reading. I'm drawing off of this chapter right here. Guatemala is America. America. So let me turn up the... I'm so glad you brethren, even if you just dropping in for a minute, for a second, brethren, bless my soul, man. I'm a new brother. I hope y'all take me in. I hope y'all get with me. I hope y'all contact me, help me to grow up. I ain't as powerful as y'all are right now, but I'm going to certainly get there. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to get there. I still won't debate Israelite brethren unless it's from the angle of trying to sincerely get them to get out of that deity. Get out of that idolatry. Not trying to come against them, not trying to win any arguments or anything. My thing is, hey man, don't play. It's all about trying to get you out of some serious danger. Because you're in danger right now. I keep thinking of IUIC, man. I can't get them out of my mind. I be having dreams about them. IUIC. I be having dreams about them turning, man. Turn, 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 turn. I saw a video of all them brethren, man. I hope Selah can get to him. I hope he can get to him, man. I'm pulling for you, Selah. Pulling for you, Malachi. Cosman, Cal, Dreadman, Cosman, Dreadful Cosman, all you brethren. Man, I'm rooting for y'all. I hope somebody can reach IUIC. Let's do the reading of the word, the Oahspe Bible. I don't have the book, what book this is. If I leave this, then it's going to be hard for me to get back to this chapter. I forget what book this is coming out of. But anyway, let me go ahead and do the reading, doing a word study on slavery, what it had to say about slavery. All right. May the Heavenly Father bless the reading of his word. In verse 1, it says, Es said, now Es is the spiritual world. It's the spirit. I should try to go ahead and give the definition of Es for understanding's sake. Es. The terms are something you got to get used to when you're looking at the Oahspe. If you do, if brethren ask me, what should they read first? I say the glossary. You should read the glossary. Now, here's the ES. The ES, that's the unseen worlds, unseen immortal. This word is used in the feminine synonymous with the spirit world. Okay, so now that we got that, let's go back. ES said, in the olden times and in eastern countries, Jehovah began his revelations. The western continent he left for the finishing thereof. The western continent, that's here, that's over here. Mainly America, north, south, central. Verse 2, now when God looked abroad over Gautama, that's America, he saw 4 millions of people in bondage as slaves. And he saw that they must be liberated. And so God inquired of the chief mathematician and the holy council, one Arak, saying, who of all the kings of the earth had the greatest number of slaves? And Arak said, Xerxes, who dwelleth in Yopiga and Atmospheria. Verse 4, God said, send thou a heavenly ship for him, for 1,000 million of his angels, and send also for the Argosian, Leonidas, and for 1,000 million of his angels, and when they brought here, they shall descend to the earth, and these barbarians, and liberate their slaves. So you see a setup in the spiritual about how the Creator is going to deal with slavery. And if we're not mistaken, it's also going to talk about what happens to those who to slave owners, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to talk about recompense for slave owners. Verse 5, Arak saluted and departed, giving his instructions to the heavenly marshals, who at once sent ships and messengers as directed. Verse 6, God then said, I will now this ain't the Creator, but this is one of the faithful gods. Verse 6, God then said, I will now call the Ashars. The Ashars are your guardians, personal angels, who hold guard over these mortals, and for a season they shall dwell in Drusian darkness. We're going to dwell with the unenlightened. We're going to dwell with the fleshly spirits. So you get the picture that the slaves are going to dwell with, they're going to be in a time of spiritual darkness. I could be wrong, but like I said, I'm just trying to give a sense. Verse 7, and this was accomplished, and straightway a war ensued betwixt the owners of the slaves and the neighboring states. So now looks like we're looking at the Puritans, the 13 colonies, and the I forget the the name of the what they call the natives. Trying to remember the first group that met the Puritan or the Quakers, was it? It was the Quakers first, or was the Puritans first and then the Quakers? But anyway, it's saying that straightway a war ensued betwixt the owners of the slaves. Or wait a minute, this is talked about when the slaves, when about when slavery began to be big. A war ensued betwixt the owners of the slaves and the neighboring states. Okay, verse 8. Then came the gods and angels high in the grades to witness the play of mortal death and to determine how best to win liberty and to Jehovah the inhabitants of this great land. Verse 9. God had said it is an easy matter to win in war, but to make mortals see the triumph of righteousness is not so easy. Therefore, be discreet in approaching testimony unto Jehovah. Verse 10, and there rose up 2,000,000 men in arms, pushing on in war on every side, coursing the rich soil in mortal blood, and yet neither side had defined its principles or taken stand for righteousness' sake, but went on in fearful destruction, laying in death tens of thousands. Verse 11, Jehovah said, send thou thy Parthian and Argosian angels down to these mortals, and by inspiration and by dreams and visions, thy angels shall say to them, whoso professes the earth shall battle in vain, but whoso professes righteousness in my name shall win. And millions of angels descended and tried to persuade them. Verse 12, but mortals would not hear. Even the chief general on liberty's side closed his soul against Jehovah. I himself enforced slavery with his mighty army. Now, I don't know who I is. Probably some spirit god, fallen spirit god. Verse 13, and years went on, and all the people began to perceive that without righteousness there would be no end to war. Jehovah had said, only death can reach these people, or make them behold my hand. Yet thou shalt send thy angel host over all the north regions, and inspire them to call out for liberty. Then went forth Xerxes and Leonidas with their 2,000 million angels to overspread the north, to inspire mortals to a more heavenly stand, to make them see justice and liberty. So it's, I'm willing to bet that now we're talking about around the time of Abraham Lincoln and the Emancipation Proclamation. Now, I could be wrong, but the fact that it's talking about inspiring the mortals to a more heavenly stand. The story behind the Emancipation Proclamation, actually, Lincoln said he would not have done it. If he could have kept the Union together and not freed the slaves, he said he would have done it. He said he would have done it. He would not have freed them. Verse 16, and for 100 days these angels dwelt with mortals, but many mortals were too gross in the earth to comprehend. Then Xerxes came to New York and took hence into guardian angels, those of holiness, and he left the city in the hand of Oahspe. Look at that. So New York overran with Oahspe. Guardian angels, it says he took them away. Now, I could be wrong, but it sounds like it. At some point, taken away from New York. That's what it sounds like. The holiness angels. And he left it in the hand of the Oahspe. The unenlightened, the spiritually darkened, the unspiritual who don't want to elevate, don't want to resurrect. And at once the city was plunged in hell, and the people were as mad people, wild and fearful. Again, Jehovah spake in the holy council in heaven, saying, let my angels go once more and inspire mortals to rise to the light of my will. Verse 18, again, the angels overrun the land, inspiring mortals day and night to demand freedom for the slaves. Okay. And the ambassadress of Jehovah said to her inspiring host of angels, number ye the mortals, north and south, as to their majority voice for freedom. Verse 19, now when the gods numbered the mortals and graded them, there it is, see, graded the mortals. We're graded, we're under the same situation. You brethren get busy trying to serve your brother, good works unto your brother. You can rest assured, you get knowledge and you trying to serve your brethren, you can rest assured you're going to elevate. You're going to come into a high grade. When you cross over, when that time comes for you, you are going to go to your highest spiritual elevation. That's what we want. We want to get as far away from the earthly influence. We want to get as far away as possible. And our grade is going to determine that. That's going to determine your place. You just need knowledge and good works, man. You can be a great guy. You can be a great guy, but you can still be deceived. You could be, if you are under a deity, I'm telling you, that's my big thing, because I've been under it all the way for like 12 years now. And I only got out last month. I just got out. Now, it may not be a big thing to you, but to me, to get out of prison, spiritual prison like that, knowing that if I'd crossed over at any point, I would have been a dutiful slave to Luamon. That's the influence, that's the spiritual influence for Christianity, for Islam, and who the hell knows what else? Catholicism. I would have went right into slavery to Luamon. And like we read earlier, you could be there a long season. You have to get whooped on enough to make you finally turn and break and to search for the Creator. From what I understand as I read, some people have no faith. They got no faith, but the Creator, he said he know how to break it. See, he know how to break it. That's the good thing about the Creator. Brethren who cross over and grade low, the Creator, he still got a plan for you to get out of that hell you're going to go into. He's still got a plan to get you up out of there. But you're going to agree to it, that's for sure. Verse 20, Jehovah said to his ambassadress, take thine own inspiring host and go down to the earth, to Washington, to Lincoln the president, and hold this matter up to him that he may understand me. For he is not bound in doctrines, for which reason my angels made him president, and for this purpose which I have in hand. Verse 21, and it shall come to pass that Lincoln will hear thee, and he shall resolve in his own mind freedom for the slaves. But he will seek some external sign, fearing he may have mistaken the angels that minister unto him. But I will provide a way for this, and also, I will provide a way for this to end also. Verse 22, and the angels of Jehovah went to Lincoln in a vision, like a dream, and they said unto him, Lincoln, Lincoln. And he answered and said, who art thou? And the angel said, such is come in Jehovah's name for freedom's sake. Behold, millions of his angels look down from heaven and would come to thy armies if thou wouldest proclaim freedom to the slaves. Jehovah's hand is in this matter. It says, Lincoln awoke and was troubled with this dream. Verse 25, the next night the angels came again and retold their words and added thereunto. The great majority of the country is ripe for this matter. Thou fearest this is but a foolish dream. Behold, we will give thee proof tomorrow. Lincoln awoke more troubled than before, but remembered the angel said, we will give thee proof tomorrow. Abraham Lincoln was an Aquarius. That means he was a humanitarian. He was all for the brotherhood of men. water bearer, refreshment, water for mankind. So it's interesting. He was chosen to give the Emancipation Proclamation, refreshment for mankind. Verse 27, Jehovah said, I will make this matter a testimony to this nation so that no man may gainsay it. And I will show also how my angels work singly and in mighty legions. Verse 28, now at that time there was living in Washington a seeress, Nettie Maynard. Let's see if we can find her. Nettie Maynard. Nettie Maynard. Okay. Nettie Maynard. What did she do? Mary Charlton. Mary, is this Nettie Maynard? Nettie Colburn. She's given Nettie Maynard here. A spiritualist. Nettie Colburn was a young medium who conducted seances for Mary Todd Lincoln. President Lincoln allegedly attended on at least one occasion. Nettie Maynard. So here she is. Now I don't know if that's her. Nettie Maynard. Okay. So the Oahspe mentions Nettie Maynard. It says she was a seeress. And it says that through verse 28. Now at that time there was living in Washington a seeress, Nettie Maynard, through whom spirits spake in her entrancement. And on the day mentioned, the angel spake through her, saying to one case, go thou and fetch the president into the presence of this woman. Okay, so verse 29, the case went to Lincoln and told him what was said. And when Lincoln was before the seeress, the angel of Jehovah entranced her and said to him, we said we would give thee proof tomorrow. Behold, we repeat unto thee, Jehovah is in this matter. Save thou proclaimest the freedom of the slaves, thou shalt not succeed. Do thou this, and then the enemy's army shall melt away like snow in the sun. Okay. The Union Army defeats the South Confederacy. How did the Union defeat the South? The Union had several advantages and resources that helped them win the American Civil War. This included more factories, industrial infrastructure, which allowed them to produce more weapons and supplies. Why was the South defeated? Explanations for Confederate defeat in the Civil War can be broken into two categories. Some historians argue that the Confederacy collapsed largely because of social divisions within the Southern society, while others emphasize the Union's military defeat of Confederate armies. Causes of Confederate defeat in the Civil War. What are 3 reasons why the South lost the Civil War? I love how they try to say it was all about freeing the slaves, which is a lie. In this widely heralded book, first published in 1986, 4 historians consider the popularly held explanations for Southern defeat: states' rights disputes, inadequate military supply and strategy, and the Union blockade, undergirding their discussion with the crowd. Okay, so we get it. We see how the Oahspe, we see the Oahspe in real time. Prophecy, how it came true. A seer, she said, save thou proclaimest the freedom of the slaves, thou shalt not succeed. If he hadn't done it, the South, the Confederacy, they would have won. It said, "Do now this, and the enemy's army shall melt away like snow in the sun." Lincoln's eyes were opened, and he went straight away and proclaimed freedom to the whole 4 million slaves. How many slaves did Lincoln free? How many slaves did Lincoln free? How many? 3.5 million. How do you like the Oahspe? 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 How do you like that? How do you like that? $4 million slaves. 3.5 million. 4 million slaves. 4 million slaves. How do you like the Oahspe Bible, man? Verse 31, Xerxes said to Leonidas, "Thou great conqueror, thou shalt conquer me again. Take thy 1,000,000,000 angels and go to the armies of the north and inspire them on the victory. Give them such strength and courage as they have not before manifested. And as for myself and my host, we will go to the armies of the south, and we will inspire them to believe they are conquered, and so make them flee before thy soldiers." Verse 32, thus these great angel warriors allotted themselves to the work, and lo and behold, the northern armies ran forth over the enemy's country as if war were but play. And the southern armies vanished, disarming themselves and returning to their homes. The slaves were free. Verse 34, Jehovah said, "Let this be a testimony that this land is the place of the beginning of the cosmic era." The cosmic era. The cosmic era. The cosmic era. Universal knowledge. Right on time, man. Right on time. Pluto going into Aquarius. Right on time, man. It began in 1848. Is that what the brethren say? Cosmic era. 1848. Cosmic, universal knowledge, corporal and spirit, body and spirit, universal fellowship in all nations. Cosmic era. Cosmic era. Verse 34, Jehovah said, "Let this be a testimony that this land is the place of the beginning of the cosmic era. There should be no caste among my people." Caste is like rich, middle class, poor. It says, verse 35, "Behold, I went to the Israelites, and in that day I said, keep yourselves as a separate people. For I had hard work for them, which was to travel westward and establish me the all one. And they came westward and fulfilled my commandments, wherefore I have blessed them." Now, you read this and think it's talking about the Hebrew Israelites. But the definition for Israelites, according to the Oahspe, these are brethren. These are right thinking. These are brethren, spiritual brethren. These are brethren who are faithists, is talking about. These are, they're also called spiritualists. They're called Zarathustrians. So you have to, there's a Jerusalem from above, a heavenly and an earthly. It says, verse 36, "And I went to China, and I said, let the followers of China keep themselves as an exclusive people, for I work for them, which is to establish me, the all one." and to demonstrate the most numerous people in all the world united as one people peacefully. And they have accomplished their work, and I bless them. And I went to Venue, also India, and established a mighty people with a multiplicity of gods and languages. How many gods and languages are there in India? Hindu deities. Brother Malachi, he did a video on them. Hindu deities. One God? Is there only one God in Hinduism? How many gods? 33 million gods of Hinduism? Is that right? Man, how do you like the Oahspe Bible? Why Hindus worship so many gods and goddesses is a real mystery for most people. In the West, the concept of polytheism is nothing more than a fantasy or mythology worthy of comic book material. Wow. 33 million? Is that true? And I went to Venue also, that's India, and established a mighty people with a multiplicity of gods and angels. Wow. For I had work for them to do, which was to preserve my revelations of some of the divisions in my heavens above, and to prove in after time things which I had revealed to the ancients. They have accomplished their work also, and I have blessed them. So they were being used for documentary purposes of the revelations of the divisions in the heavens above, to preserve the ancient documents, the ancient events. They were used to document these things. He says, verse 37, but in this era I have not come to an exclusive people, but to the combination of all peoples commingled together as one people. Hence, I've called this the Cosmic era. Verse 38, henceforth my chosen shall be of the amalgamated races. Yeah, the Oahspe says that too. Talking about the Ihids, different colors of people who choose me, and these shall become the most perfect of all peoples on earth. How do you like that? Oahspe brethren, sons and daughters. How do you like that? Does that sound good, brother? Verse 39, and they shall not consider race or color, but health and nobleness, as to the mortal part, and as the spirit, peace, love, wisdom, and good works. One great spirit only. So that don't sound good? That don't sound good? Verse 40, Leonidas said to Xerxes, it will be revealed before long that we have been here with our angel host. As a testimony of this, let us allot a number of our angels to remain a season with mortals, and they shall inspire them to athletic sports peculiar to the Argosians and Parsians. Now, athletic, wow, is that the advent of the NFL, the baseball, and basketball? And they shall inspire them to athletic sports peculiar to the Argosians and Parsians. Verse 41, to this Xerxes consented and asked for 600,000 angel volunteers, and they received them and offered them and distributed them in such a way that their inspiration should develop mortals in health, strength, and endurance by means of athletic games. And it came to pass that the angels of heaven established athletic games amongst his people far and near. Wow, Job, he said, even in this shall man behold the cause of causes, which lieth behind all things done on earth. Verse 43, a man searched as to the cause of these things and tried to persuade himself of any cause but the true one. Wow. Wow. So even, well, shoot, man. We just won't acknowledge Jehovah no matter what he does. He wants to attribute the glory that belongs to Jehovah to himself. Verse 44, it says, Jehovah said, I will show these people that the chief causes of great affairs amongst mortals come from the angels of my heavens. Verse 45, I come in cosmic not to free only the corporal man, but the spiritual man. Brethren, that's where we are right now. We're in the cosmic era. I raise my hand against a God being founded in their constitution. That's Christianity. That's Jesus Christ. He said he raises his hand against a God being founded in their constitution. Neither will I have them to fight battles for me. The past is past. Angels and mortals shall be free. Bless my soul, man. Bless my soul. Now, we can look at some other quick verses on slavery. And here, we're picking up in the middle of a thought. I can't go into it because it's time to close my video. I read this. Okay, so let's look at one more verse. And Jehovah, through his God, delivered into freedom Guatema's slaves, and thus, I may do this tomorrow, and thus the general slavery dealt the final blow. So Jehovah blessed that day and sanctified it, and he gave the man as the master's sign in the lodge, a hand pointing toward the pen, signifying I provided this mightier than the sword. And Jehovah gave to the members in the lodge the answer and the sign, clasped hands and looking upward, signifying in thy praise, Jehovah. Clasped hands and looking upward. So I bet that's what Oahspe brethren do sometimes when they praying or meditating. Clasped hands and looking upward. I might do this tomorrow. I'm going to have to read it to find out. Anyway, that will conclude the reading of this word. Let me go back to the room, see if anyone is still in there. Selah Shalom, man. You tripped me out. I can't believe you in here, man. Bronze Yogi, Mahayab. This trips me out, man. Look at my past videos. One or two, not even any comments. All the videos that I do, nobody looks at them, nobody comments, and now look at this. This is crazy. Look at all you brethren, man. Star Faith, my Star Faith and Olivia, y'all been with me forever. Brother Malachi, man, Samisha. Oh, man, bless my soul, man. This is incredible. I'm going to take screenshots of this. This is incredible to me. This is incredible to me. Giza rolling pole. Thank you, brother, for sharing this information. Much appreciated. Hey, brother, thank you for being here, man. Thank you, brother, man. Thank you, brother. Look at my past videos, man. Nobody. Now all of a sudden, here are all you brethren, man. Tell me I ain't blessed. This is amazing. I'm a new brethren, man. I'm trying to run. Somebody click on that link, help me out, my room. Bring the word, man. Help me. Share with them, brethren. Click on that link, man. Help me out. You all Oahspe, brethren. I'm rooting for y'all. I hope your strength stay up. You brethren in the world of Uzians. You in a world of drugs. Yeah, brothers and sisters, man. I'm rooting for y'all. I'm watching y'all. I'm looking at y'all on video. I'm really rooting for y'all. Thank you, brethren, joining me, blessing me. Wow, man. I want to give thanks to Heavenly Father, Earthly Mother, for the opportunity to try to be a light while I'm in this reality. Brethren, thank you so much. Until I see you again on video, peace be upon you. Peace be to you. Peace be upon you. Peace be to you. Shalom.